Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm just going to do a video where I'm going to demonstrate to you the proper methods that you're supposed to use when establishing cassava cuttings, or when you're planting, when you're planting cassava cuttings in your farm. So we have three methods of doing that, and each and every method has an advantage and disadvantage. So the first method that I'm going to show you is where you are supposed to, I don't know if you're seeing, maybe I adjust my camera so that you can see it very well. Though my cutting is very long. I don't, my cutting is too long. Yeah. So before we do the demonstration on how you're supposed to set the cassava cutting on the ground, I wanted to tell you that you're supposed to look at the number of knots that the cutting has. You're supposed to have a cassava cutting which has at least 5 number of knots for you to say that that cutting is viable. Okay, so the first method that we are going to demonstrate, because maybe I can cut this knot into two so that it's not now this one is not long. At least maybe I tilt the camera, I don't know, maybe I do this way. Yeah, so this one is better, the camera this way, so you can see the cutting. So it was so long, so I've cut it badly. It's not supposed to be cut this way, but now because I didn't have the tools that I'm supposed to use to cut, that's what happened. So you see, we can count our knots: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have at least 6 knots, so we are meeting the threshold, which is 5 knots. So the first method that you use as a farmer of cassava is laying the cassava on the ground like this. So like that. So you lay on the ground like this, then you cover it with the growing media, which is the soil. Yeah, so you lay like that, then you cover with the media, which is the soil. So the first advantage of this method is that when the weather is not favorable, or when it is the rain is very little, cassava is a drought tolerant crop, yes, but it still needs some water to germinate. So in cases whereby the rains are very little, this is the best method that you are supposed to use, because it is not going to expose the cutting under the weather so that it can dry. So this one is best when the rains are very little. So this is the best method. So that is the advantage about this method. I've said that it's best in areas or when the condition, or when the rain is too little than the required method, or maybe you delayed establishment, and the season of rain has subsidized. So the disadvantage about this method is it takes long to germinate. Yeah, because remember that we are going to cover the cutting, everything, so it's covered on the ground. So the second method is the one that you're going to have it like slanted like this. So this is your ground, so you're going to cover the cutting up to somewhere here, then this area is going to be exposed. And the rule is that I've said that you're supposed to ensure that, oh, I forgot to tell you that you're supposed to ensure that the eyes the eyes nodes are supposed to be facing upwards, because if it is going to face downward, the probability of germination is 0. So you need to look at these eyes to ensure that they are facing upwards. So this is called the slanting position. The first one is where you are covering everything. You have the cutting lying horizontal on the ground. Yeah, and this one is called slanting method. So it is going to be like this. I've said that you're going to cover the soil up to here, then the other part is going to remain. So the advantage of this one, it is going to germinate faster compared with the one that you are having everything on the ground. But now the disadvantage of this one is that if the weather is hot, the probability of this cutting to dry faster is very high. So you need to do this if you are sure of rainfall. So you see, we have advantage and disadvantage. So you're going to choose according to which one is appropriate for the area that you're going to establish your cassava farm. Then we have this last one. The last method is where you're going to have your cutting be like this vertically, upright. So this one is the advantage of this one, it is going to germinate faster. But now the disadvantage now, so this one is going to germinate faster compared to this vertically slanted, and then we have this one which was horizontal. So the advantage of this one is going to germinate faster compared with the two. The challenge also is you need to do this if you're sure of rainfall is going to be enough for this, unless the more this cutting is exposed to the sun, it is going to dry. That's why we said we do advise that after harvesting, you establish these cuttings within a period of 1 week. Beyond that, I don't guarantee germination because they're going to be dry. Because yeah, they're going to be dry. So those are 3 methods that you can choose one to establish cuttings of cassava. So thank you so much for watching this video. Although we were not in the farm, but at least you have gotten the concept of the 3 methods that you can use to establish cassava. So thank you for the subscribers who have been there. For those who are new, kindly subscribe and share this video so that other farmers can be able to learn.